Okie dokie. So today we're going to go over dimensioning with AutoCAD. Okay, so, well, dimensions, you have to have something present to dimension. So I'm going to create a few objects here. A circle to give us a radius, and then maybe a rectangle. Why not? A rectangle inside of there with, let's say, maybe a line passing through it somewhere. Okay, so far that's good. And I think that will be enough for us to work with dimensions. So I'm going to go to the Annotate tab, and we see the Dimensions group. Okay, so we have our several basic dimensions here. We have linear, aligned, angular, arc length, radius, and diameter. These other two aren't used that much, jog dimensions and ordinate dimensions. Linear dimensions will give you the height or the width between any 2 points, based on which direction you pull it. Okay. Now, usually it's best, if you're going to do the height, to get 2 points that have no width between them. So you only get the height. Also, because there's a small gap that is supposed to be between the object being dimensioned and the dimension line. Okay, so what other kinds of dimensions do we have? Okay, we've seen what the linear dimension does. This is the aligned dimension. So the align works great if you have two objects that are not horizontal or vertical, and it will always give you the direct distance between the two. So I didn't exactly put this one in a decent spot, but maybe I can do that from here to here. Give you a good dimension there. Okay, next we have the angular dimension, which is between two lines, circles, or arcs. So I'm going to select two of these lines here, and it gives me an angular dimension. Saying, yes, there is 90 degrees between these two angles. Okay, so what next? We've got arc length. Well, I don't have any arcs, so I can't really do that. But I do have a circle, so I can do the radius or the diameter. So the diameter of the circle is there now. With radius and diameter dimensions, you also get a center point that pops up for the dimension on the center of this. On the center of the circle, which is good. Some other things too that work nice with dimensions. Okay, is I'm going to put a dimension down here, just standard linear dimension, and I'm going to use the continue, or the continue dimension, okay, which works off of the last dimension that you place. You may notice that it automatically started creating one with mine, and at the end of the endpoint that you created as well. You can change it by using the select command, or option rather, and then picking whichever one you want to start with. Okay. But I like the one that it shows, so I'm going to go back to that one. Okay, and whenever you're done, you can hit escape. And that's the dimension continue. It's great for if you have a lot of dimensions in a row, for a lot of repeating objects. Another good dimension, similar to the continue dimension command, is the baseline dimension command, which allows you to select a dimension for the baseline and pull out to the next one. Just like the continue command, or this one is, well, never ending until you hit the escape button. It'll just repeat as many times as you want it to. Okay. Something else that we can do, I'm going to, well, try selecting all my dimensions without losing everything. Okay. I'm going to use the quick dimension right here, which, okay, first thing I need to do is select all the geometry that I want to dimension, press enter, and it gives me dimension lines. And I can pull it into either direction, up, down, left, and right. They're always linear. It's never going to give me an aligned dimension from these. But I can choose to make them continuous or baseline. It's kind of whichever I want to do. And also, with the quick dimension, okay, if I select all the geometry again, I can actually edit which ones are going to be dimensioned from. So let's say I don't want these two, I don't want this line in the dimensions, then I can deselect the 2 points, press enter, and I have that line is gone from the dimensions, just like I told it to. If you ever have dimensions that are intersecting something, it's usually not good to have a dimensions extension line intersect with something, because it can draw off somebody's view of something. So we can use the break, or the dim break command. Okay. So we first select the dimension, and we select the object that's going to break it. And now we have the break at the dimension. And we can hit escape to end the command. Now that dimension line no longer intersects with the rectangle, which is pretty nice. But at this point, that's about all that I have about dimensions. However, we can also go about leaders, which is kind of in the same realm as dimensions. Leaders is right next to dimensions. So if I wanted to create a leader, okay, what does a leader do? Basically, it's an arrow pointing toward something with a text on it. Okay, and it's attached. The text is attached to the line, so if I move the line anywhere, the text has to follow it. Multi-leaders, you can also add a new leader to any multi-leader that's currently existing. So if I wanted to point out 3 of the 4 corners, there we go. I've got 3 corners noted by the corner leader. Might be a little corny there, but I guess that's okay. Something too about dimensions and multi-leaders is that they all have styles. Oops, that is not the button I wanted to do. Okay. If you click on the little arrow down there, it'll pop up this Dimension Style Manager, which allows you to change things about it. By clicking the Modify button, you can change the sizes, the symbols, and many other things with your dimensions. Now, I'm not going to change any of these because there's a lot that you can change, but the defaults are a good standard to go by. Unless you're like printing at a different scale or whatever. But other than that, that's pretty much what you will need to know in order to use dimensions in AutoCAD.